Hey guys, welcome back! Better Than a Let's Play Season 2, Episode 30! I'm Enigmas, and today we're setting up things that look cool that we may never use. Because you never know. If we do use them, it may not be for anything important. So that's because this is all part of the Nothing Factory, where the overall goal is to accomplish nothing and look really cool doing it. I set up a bunch of these water wheels. If you missed the last episode, it might be worth watching because I described some of the challenges associated with using these water wheels. Specifically, they're a little bit temperamental, a little bit buggy, and very, very poor documentation on how to set them up and use them. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you exactly how to set them up. And hopefully warn you off about some of the limitations. Like, for example, you see none of the wheels themselves are actually moving right now, but the giant gears that are attached to the back side are. It's a thing. Other times, the giant... Get away. Other times, the giant wheel will be moving, but the gears won't be connected for some reason. This gear will be turning, but the little one won't, and the only way to solve that is to log out and back into the game, and then things should resume as normal. It's just a thing. But it looks cool. I would say, looking at it from a Minecraft point of view, it's not too often you can set up something like this that actually moves and looks interesting. So you find out it doesn't do anything. So easily... setup is a pretty good way to describe these guys, but there's a couple things to keep in mind. First of all, when you're placing these, there's two different configurations. You can have sort of like the vertical setup, like they are now, or you can have the horizontal setup that we saw in the last episode, and the difference is just in how you place them. There's the horizontal setup, and if you put this in a 3x3 square, where they all look like that, and then right-click on them with this silly standard wrench, it will make the horizontal metal turbine-looking thing, whereas if you do all the wooden ones, kind of put them on a backdrop like that, and then it's easier, I find, we don't need brains on our hotbar or anything, to actually stand on something so that you know you're looking dead on where you want to place it. Otherwise, for some reason, even if you're just looking up like that, it'll end up being like the other one that we don't want. So that's the basics for making one of these large turbines. And then you right-click it with the wrench, and it turns into one of the big guys. From 9 little guys to 1 big guy. And then we need to get the gears on it, because the turbine itself doesn't actually do anything. You can't connect any machines to it or wires to it or anything like. Well, I guess you could connect machines to it, but you can't connect any wires to it or anything like that and get an outcome. It's purely mechanical energy. There's no electrical energy coming off this thing at all. So what we want to do is we want to get our selection of gears, and in this case I'm just using wooden ones because they're cheap. And then it gives you the micro block sort of interface. If you've ever used microblocks, you know if you click on the square in the middle, that'll be sort of flat, and then if you were to click on any of these sort of segments on the outer edges, it would be sort of a like that. Like it would be extending outwards. Now in this case, we obviously want everything flat, and just like the water wheel, we want all of this in a 3x3 grid. And like that, and like that. And then for these guys, you want to shift right click to turn it into the big wheel. If you just right click it, you actually crank it. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll let you listen. So you can actually start it turning, I guess. I'm not sure. I haven't really seen an application for that in this case. I know there are some blocks with this mod where you crank things manually in order to make them work, but yeah, so you have to shift right click to make that guy form, and then all we really need to do is get some water in here, which is easily done. This is the sort of tray that I made. We did the episode where we formed the waterfall and the water started coming down in here, and then just gathered it all up in a tray here and added a few extra source blocks to fill it in so that it looks like it's filling up this tray from up there, and then we punch the holes in the bottom and the water flows out, and that's what powers our turbines. So we go like that, out goes the water, and if we're lucky, there we go. As soon as it starts, it seems to be that if it's not flowing under the turbine as well as down the side, that it doesn't work. It may even just be that it needs to be flowing under, and the stuff flowing down the side doesn't matter, but there's only so much experimenting that I'm willing to do within a certain span of time. So that's basically the turbine and a gear on it so that we can harness that power into other things a little bit easier. Now you'll notice we've got these electric generators and the stone gears. The stone gears are supposed to transmit torque better, which means turning force as opposed to turning speed. Which, in a setup like this, apparently the water wheels are more about the torque than the speed, and the wind turbines that we'll be showing momentarily are more about the speed than the torque. So, based on that, I said, hey, you know what? We'll use that one. We'll use the stone gear, and that'll be awesome. So, same as before, we want to set it on edge, so we go like that. Hooray. It's all set up, it's turning. It might not stay turning, but it's turning now. And then we've got one of these electric generators, which we need an empty hand, and then, right, we shift right click it, and now it's producing electrical energy. As we showed in the last episode, it defaults to producing mechanical energy, which means if you were to collect an electrical current to this, it would turn a gear, or something else that is prone to wanting to turn, like maybe one of those. I don't know, I haven't tried that. That would be funny if you hit. Oh, you son of a bitch, that scared the hell out of me. Just no one appreciates the finer details of what we're doing here, much less the skeletons. If we were doing something that involved, just making things look good, and we could actually hook up an electric motor to one of these guys and just rev it right up, that might be interesting. We might mess around with that sometime later. But for now, we are producing a certain amount of electrical energy from all of these engines, or generators, as it were. And this is the readout that's showing us. I think this is basically the maximum that it can produce. It's 200 kilowatts of power, 10 kilojoules of energy. And then it shows the capacity is 10 kilojoules. So that's, I think we've basically maxed out all of these engines. So for now, we're just going to leave them like that. And we're going to set up the wind turbines, hopefully. Hopefully these ones aren't as picky. There we go, wind turbine. About the placement. Oh, they are. They're not as picky, I don't think, but you can still apparently get the vertical turbines. That's alright though. I hear someone running. Oh, the creeper has fallen down. I have to be careful. They're all out to get me. So we're gonna set up 3 large wind turbines, just because we can. And then we will hook them to electrical generators. And then also get some Tesla coils hooked up and looking neat. And then we can say that no matter what else happens with the things that we set up today, we made some things that look neat. So there's those guys. And do these want to right click, or there we go. So same as the water wheels, the water turbines, just put them in a 3x3 and then right click in the middle with the wrench. And seems to be okay. I don't know how much wind we're gonna have here on Mars, to be completely honest. But we'll find out. We're gonna do what we can anyways. It could be that there's absolutely no wind at all, and it's just humoring us, turning a little bit as soon as we finish assembling it to let us know that we assembled it right, we just didn't put it in the right spot. Look at this, there's a pair of creepers down there. I think they're fighting over who gets the best hiding spot. No, can't do that. Oh, and it's daytime. They're all gonna burn. So I was originally going to set these wind turbines up because I didn't think the water turbines were going to do a very good job of producing electricity. And then I loaded the game. I exited and loaded the game, and all of a sudden it was fine. So there we go. There's 3 wind turbines. Now the idea is I'm going to get rid of these. These were just sort of a backdrop that I could attach the little mini turbines to while I was building them, because it's just so much easier to do it that way. I don't want to leave these here because they don't look interesting. So we're going to attach this guy. Uh-oh, that wasn't the thing. I was on the wrong damn thing, and that's what happened. There we go. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna be okay. There's no reason for alarm or panic. Maybe a little bit of panic and some alarm. Do I have to put a gear on the back of these? Because that would just be kind of silly. I wouldn't be surprised though. We'll go like this. Let's try it. Gear. No. That's not it. That's not the answer. What about this guy? No. I know that's what I just did, but I'm trying to see if it will attach to the back of that without a shaft, and I don't think it will. So let's try. It's not going to let us attach anything to that. What the hell? So it won't take it that way, and it won't take it that way. What about... Oh, don't tell me it's only going to attach off this side. Yeah, it's only going to attach off this side. That could be a good thing, because we might be able to skip the need for a gear. No, that's not it. And I've tried in the past to rotate these various different components. You know, you place them and then you whack them with something and they turn and face a different direction. I'm going to gather up my concrete, because concrete is... It's getting kind of old making it. Even though I have an automated setup in the overworld to make concrete, it takes a lot of gravel and sand. Just... there we go. Oh, crap. Hey, let me up there. Actually, you know what? Before we go up there, we should grab this and see if this engine is actually producing anything. Because if it is, then that's great. And if it's not, then we know now, and we don't get everything else set up thinking that everything's going to be fine. Here we go. Fast. Oh, we got to do the... Now producing electrical energy. It's producing, but we just have to kind of take a look. We're gonna do like that, and you see it slowly counts up to the power. There we go. It got up to 200 kilowatts faster than the water turbine, so that's good. We know we're maybe close to being on the right track, and since we know that we have to put them on this side now, we could just scoot along, set everything up. Actually, let's we'll get this other engine in place, and then we'll automatically have an empty spot. We can do the empty hand switch from mechanical to electrical power, like so. And now producing electrical, now producing electrical, and we can go like this with the wire. Uh-oh, is this guy slowing down for a reason? Is he just being stubborn? Oh, it's the wire doesn't know it's a multi-block structure, but everything else does. So now we've got a certain amount of electricity being produced up here that, again, we may never actually use for anything significant. And we're just going to tidy up a wee bit here, because then I want to put down some Tesla coils and enjoy the fruits of our labor. And if it starts zapping up in the air, then we know we're on the right track. I need this. I don't need the hammer here. The hammer doesn't even work on Mars. Very sad. Output. Input we want. Alright, so let's make sure that this guy is also set to input on this side. Input. And then we go marked link for device. Successfully linked devices. And then what are you doing here? None, input, output. In there. What did we do? What have we done? Let's do a couple things up here. One, we will reclaim our multimeter. And two, we will set up the same thing with the linking. So we just shift click with the screwdriver and you can see it says marked link for device, and then we come down here and we shift click on this guy, successfully linked devices. So that's linked to this guy. This guy should be linked to here as well. Let's just see. Try that again. Marked link for device. Try putting it on a different side. Oops. Successfully linked devices. This is output. Yes. So what does the multimeter say? Does it say we've made a mess or that we did it right? It says we still don't know how to place micro blocks. Multimeter, smarten up. Capacity 10 kilojoules. Not receiving any. Why? What do you say? Oh, maybe. Change the output. And change the output. This is still input. Let's see. Do we have anything running through the wires, or did I connect them to the wrong side of the motor? Because that would be very much like me connecting them to the wrong side of the motor. So let's try like this. Now we've confirmed that these guys are producing electrical energy. What do you say? No information. Come back here. Come back here. There. And then this guy says what? Oh my god. Okay. Strike 3. Multimeter. Capacity 10 kilojoules. So it's supposed to be receiving. Generator now producing mechanical. Generator now producing. There we go. Maybe we just needed a bit of an update. We needed to force a bit of an update. Let's go down the line and just make sure everything goes to you know, the flipping and the flopping. And how's this guy doing now? Not so great, but it's doing something, which is fantastic. And now, with any luck, we'll come down here and are you gonna do the zappy thing too? What? See now is. So now you might be wondering, hey, why are you even using this if it's such a headache? Because remember, the goal isn't necessarily to do anything. It's to make things that look really cool. And so now that it's set up, if it decides that it wants to stop working until the next time that I leave the game and then load back into it, I don't care because it doesn't have any mission critical sort of machines or processes hooked up to it. This guy over here, if I was waiting on iron ingots for the next stage of production, I would be a little bit disappointed if this stopped working. This guy couldn't care less. So we've got things turning and we've got beams of energy zapping up into the sky. I think we're on the right track for the nothing factory, things that do nothing but look cool in the process. So the next step, we're probably gonna milk the hell out of Resonant Induction as much as we can now so that I can forget about it, and then we'll be on to something else to carry on with the business of looking cool and doing nothing in the process. So the next episode, expect maybe to see more of these air turbines, the wind turbines, kind of doing the wall thing up that way, and more zappy things into the sky, and then we'll take it from there. If you want to be notified when I add that video, you can always subscribe to my channel. That's one way. Another way is to follow me on the social media, get an update whenever I add a new video. The links for that in the information section below this video. Please do leave your comments and feedback because they are important. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.